Right, Alex from East to West Hunts here. Today I'm going to take you through my Kansas late season whitetail gear dump. Okay, so just was on a Michigan whitetail hunt, brutally cold, but a lot of tree stands and ground blinds and stuff like that. A lot of wind. Kansas could be a totally different ball game. I've had it in ranges of 15, 20 degrees at night. I've had it in ranges of 60 degrees during the day. So a lot of varying temperatures and degrees there. However, I do change my gear quite a bit going into it. One being, you never really know what to expect. Two, I can change out gear because I'm driving and I have my truck, and I'm not worried about weight. So I'm going to take a little bit more than I typically would on a backcountry hunt, because there I'm really worried about my best value of what I'm going to take in regards to all different varying weathers and conditions. So let's get started and blister through this bad boy. I'm going to start with my favorite, all the hunter orange items that I have, and these are all because of it's rifle season, right? So I like to have a buff. Now this buff is very thin, right? And if you've ever worn a buff or a gator, I like this because if it's hot out, I don't want to have a winter hat on per se. So I'm going to either have this on my head, or I'm just going to wear a orange ball cap. Now, as it gets cooler at night, or if it's going to be cool in the morning, that's where I'm going to opt in and wear my East to West Hunts, winter hat, whatever you want to call it. If I'm wearing this during the day, then I'm actually going to put this over it at night, cover my ears, and I really have best of all worlds for my hunter's orange. And I always carry a second hat, and that is because, again, it's going to be in the car, and I just don't know if something happens, I don't have my gear, or somebody forgets one. For example, my hunting partner might forget one, I'm going to have one. My orange vest that I'm wearing, this is a Mountain Ops soft shell. Really like this thing. I would say it's comparable to like a guide vest from Kuiu. Does have the fleece backing, so that's a little bit of like a second layer to it. Super light, been bomb proof for me. I've taken this through quite the ringer, and it's very nice, so I have no complaints for it. All right, base layers. Got these ECWCS base layers from Cabela's. These are their polar weight. I've literally had these for 12 years. They just keep cranking and never go bad. I have no holes or anything in them, so clearly Cabela's made a much better product back in the day. I can't say much about it now, but these were awesome. So now I'm not going to wear those unless it's like freezing out. And I also wear a pant that has a liner in it depending on how cold it is. So again, varying degrees and temps. On my upper body, I'm going to rock this thinner, I believe this is 180 grams of merino wool. This is the Mountain Ops wool. It's got a hood, really stretchy, really comfortable, really soft. Does have a zippered pocket. That was my go-to in Montana this year during our bear hunt. It was awesome. Then if it gets a little cooler, or if I just want to upgrade it a little bit and maybe not have 2 layers, then I'm going to go to this Mountain Ops. This is the 260 gram. I love that this has a kangaroo pouch as well. It's just nice to, honestly, this is just nice to rock around the house too. But it's a heavier weight. I really like that. Great quality. I don't think I'm going to use this, but this is the Covert hoodie. Just taking it if I really get in some cold times and I just want to have something, or I'm stinky, who knows, I'm not going to be able to wash stuff. But this Covert hoodie, real nice because it's got the zip too. It's a little bit heavier, but it also has a face mask built in, so I really like that. But again, this might be overkill. I might not even pack this, to be honest, but it's something that I threw in my gear. All right, extremities. I got 3 different pairs of gloves. I got my King's lightweight glove. I really like this, and this is probably the most utilized one that I have, just because it's got the little fingertips that are blackened, and they work with my phone and any other touchscreen device. So if I'm filming, texting, whatever it is, this is going to work. Then I also like it because it ties in with the midweight. I can fit it inside the midweight glove if I'm cold, but I still want to be able to feel everything. And last but not least, these were money in Michigan on my deer hunt because it was freezing. I mean, 30-mile-an-hour winds. It just coming straight in my face. It's windy. It's snowing. You couldn't make it up. These things held their own. Did use hand warmers in my pockets. I always have some kind of kangaroo pocket, but these were great. So, highly recommend. Socks. I'm only taking 2 pairs of socks. I'm going to have regular socks for, if I'm not hunting. But heavyweight, these are the Cabela's Ultimax. I think this is like a merino blend. I've had these literally for 10 years. They just keep cooking, so I keep wearing them. And then I have a thinner one. These are merino as well, but these are the lightweight Cabela's sock. Same thing. I think I've had these for 7 or 8 seasons now. And they're still holding their own. So, again, no complaints. All right. If it's super, super cold, I always have one of these Bulas in my bag or in my truck. These are really, really warm, but they go over your whole head. And then what I like about these, not all of them are created equal. I like how this has a slit that separates what goes over your face and also what goes over your ears. And what I like about it is it's not flip-flopped. I don't like it where this is on the inside and this is on the outside. And the reason is because of how it covers my ear. I'm very particular about it because I like to be able to hear things. I like that I can move this back but still have this covering my face. It just works out better. Costco, like 2 for $20. Can't make it up. Steal of a deal. All right, pants. As I said, I have 2 different pairs of pants here. These are my, if it's warmer outside or if it's not freezing, I'm going to wear these. Now, these are the Wrangler Outdoor Cargo Pant. They're like $22 at Walmart. You can't make it up. Got a cargo pocket. They're stretchy. There's a 2-way stretch, so you're not going to be able to stretch it up and down, but side to side it stretches really, really well. These things I've put literally through the ringer, and they just keep cooking. So there's really no sense in buying a more expensive pant if I can get this out of it, and I can beat the snot out of them, and I don't even worry about it. Okay, now, if I'm freezing, I'm going to wear that base layer, and I'm also going to wear these Eddie Bauer guide pants. These are the pros, because they have a fleece liner inside, so it's almost like a separate layer added in. You can see, because it separates, it's like sewn into the pant. Now, again, same deal. If you can get these on sale for $40, $50 with a coupon or whatever, these are great. They just keep cooking. I use them every year. Why fix something that's not broke, right? So, and I've tried all kinds of pants. I just keep going back to those. All right, jackets. So I will take down and I'll take polyester stuff on this hunt, again, because I don't have to worry about weight and sizing and all that other stuff. So if I'm staying with my Kings line, I'm going to wear this. This is the Transition Flex jacket. I like this because it has this hoodie and wind layer in here. So if you were to ask me what is my least favorite element or what am I going to be exposed to in the woods the most, and I absolutely hate it, it's wind. Absolutely hate it. I'll take rain all day over wind. But this is something where I can wear it, I can put the hood on, and it literally zips up to here, and I feel like it controls the wind a lot better. It's a polyfill. It's really nice. I've been actually using this as like my everyday jacket. Super comfortable. Then my shell, this is going to be the Boulder jacket from Kings. Now this has a removable hood, which I really, really like. It's also got a snap enclosure to the hood to put it up closer to you. Really nice shell. It does have the fleece lining inside. See that? And I do like how the pockets are. It's almost like a kangaroo pocket the way that it goes in. It's not, obviously, because you got a zipper in the middle, but really nice jacket. If it's brutally cold, I will actually add a layer. So I literally will go from merino base layer to like my covert hoodie or this hoodie jacket thing that I'm wearing right here. And then I'll literally add that transition on, and then I'm going to put a down on like this. This is the Black Ovis down jacket. Now, on a rifle hunt, I really could care less about camo. It just happens that I have some camo stuff, but typically solids are my jam. So I always use this. Great thing to talk about here. You just got to know this thing will ounce for ounce stick up with any of the other brands. It's got the same amount of fill, if not more. Baffles are nice. If you ever want to look at the baffles to see how much they have, put them up in the light. You're going to be able to see that. However, for the price point, I can't go wrong with this Black Ovis product. What you need to know, though, it is not waterproofed. The down is not waterproofed in this. So there are some other brands that will waterproof the product. It's going to cost 3 times more. That means if you're stuck in the rain, you're not going to lose that insulation to it. With this, you will lose the insulating properties if this gets wet because that down is going to clump. However, I always have rain gear with me. So if I have my down and it's another pound all in and then I have my rain gear, I'm not worried about that. And in Kansas, the forecast just doesn't change a lot. I mean, it's going to say it's going to rain, I'm going to pack my rain gear. If it says it's not going to rain, I'm not packing my rain gear. So that's just how this works. But I have the Black Ovis pants and I have the Black Ovis jacket. So those are for sure is coming. Rain gear I always have. This is my Kuiu Chugach rain pant and my Kuiu Chugach rain jacket. I have worn this for years. I rent this as part of, gear for rental for hunting. Works great. No complaints. It's been magical, has never wetted out on me. Again, nothing that I would change about that. It just keeps trucking for me. All right, let's get into shoes or boots. So boots, Crispy Nevadas. Worn these now for 7 seasons. I take care of my stuff, I will tell you that. So if you're someone that just beats the snot out of stuff, I don't know if these are going to last you 7 years. However, after every season, typically in the spring, I will do a full leather treatment, waterproof them, clean them with like a horsehair brush, the whole 9. I'm a big believer if you take care of your stuff, it's going to take care of you kind of a deal. And inside, I also do have sheep feet, I will tell you that. If you're not familiar with sheep feet, they will basically send you a little kit at home. You're going to take imprints of your feet, you're going to send it to them, and they're going to send you an insole for your boots. That was an absolute game changer for me, for not just blisters, but just the comfort of my feet and being like actually feeling like I'm not shifting in my boot a lot, because this actually changes how much room you have in there and your foot just feels just perfectly fit in there. I can't describe it, but I highly recommend it. And yeah, I'm not changing these. I will wear my Crispy Nevadas all the time, except on a whitetail hunt in like a blind, in like super polar conditions like what I just had in Michigan here. That cold, I have pack boots on because I'm just sitting sedentary. Okay. Let's talk optics. First thing, what am I using for my bino harness? FHF Pro and the FHF rangefinder pouch. Why do I use this? Because it doesn't have magnets. I absolutely hate magnets. I don't know how you guys do it with magnets. It totally disrupts my phone and the GPS and all that other stuff. This is the way to go. In my opinion, this is the way to go. And it's light, and I can beat the snot out of it, and it works, and yeah, it's great. Nothing to complain about. For the car, that's a big one. If I am glassing from the vehicle, right, and I'll be the first one to say, I love backcountry hunting, but Kansas is so nice because I get to drive around and I literally get to scout for my truck half the time. And if not, I'm hiking a mile here and there, and I'm back to the truck. So the truck is a big add for me. I like this Bog Gear binocular attachment. I can't say all their stuff is fantastic in my opinion, but this is a really good one, and I use it with the window mount. So you basically just put this on it, attach it to your window, and then you can put whatever binocular you want on here. So if I'm rocking 10s and 15s, I can put each of them on here. It doesn't need to be only for one particular, binocular product. So love that. I will be using a phone scope This phone scope, I have the case already for my phone, so that's cool, and I got the attachments already made for this specific spotter, which is going to be my Swarovski ATX and a 65 millimeter. I love this thing for videoing, digiscoping, taking great pictures of animals. This is the way to go. You know, when it comes to videography and just photography in general, the best glasses you can get, it's the way to go. It's a little bit more expensive. It's also a little bit heavier than some of my other 65 millimeters. So if I'm not going to be videoing or I want something really backcountry style, I'm going to go to a smaller product. But this from the truck, really have no complaints. If anything, I'd probably go larger. I'd go to the 85 or the 95 on this thing. And then my binoculars that I'm going to be using are my Swarovski ELs. These are the 10x42s. These are money. They just plain, they're incredible. I got nothing else to say. If you can pipe up and spend the money, get them. Even I got mine used. I'll be the first one to tell you that. And they just keep trucking. And Swarovski's had great customer service. My buddy accidentally damaged them in Montana, and I sent them in. Now, granted, I had to wait 2 months to get them back, but they fixed them free of charge for me. So they didn't charge me anything either, and that's not part of their warranty. So they definitely take care of their customers. I would hands down say Swarovski is a good company to work with. Okay, with that, I'm going to be using 2 different tripods. That's because I'm going to be videoing and I'm going to be obviously glassing. So my videoing tripod is a Saru T004. And I use the VA5 fluid head for the camera. That thing is just stable. It's perfect. It's actually what I'm using in the video right now. I love that thing. So definitely going to be using that. But as far as what I'm going to be using for while I'm sitting, it's this little carbon tree-lined tripod from Black Ovis. I love this thing. I think Vanguard actually makes this for them, but in their own version of it. I also like I can put a little videoing remote in here for, like, you know, connecting to my phone or whatever for pictures, and I literally can hit it and it'll start recording. Super light, and it's literally like 12 inches. I mean, this thing's like a foot long. So as far as something for packability, I save a ton of weight with this thing, especially if I'm carrying 2 different tripods around. This thing is fantastic. And then in it, I'll have the little plate, and then I use this Outdoorsman's tripod attachment. So that's what uses the little pin, or whatever you want to call it. And I have that on my binoculars. So literally this will go in and it just connects. And then it's connected to my tripod. So I don't have to worry about this thing falling off because it doesn't. It clips in, you can tighten it. It's fantastic. So again, a little bit of a pricier product, but you get what you pay for. Firm believer in that. And if you find some hidden steals or some hidden gems like from Costco or Walmart, you should probably share that with people. At least I believe so. Okay. Solo Hunter rifle cover. I have not used this in years. I always take it. And actually, I take that back. I always take it, except I didn't take it to Montana this year, and it rained like 8 out of 10 days. I would have loved to have had this. So now I'm taking it again because in the happenstance that it's going to start raining or be snowing, I'm going to have this. But good piece, makes it waterproof, and I just hate getting water all over my gear. Headlamp, trusty black Diamond Storm. I like this thing just for the simplicity of what it is. Once you know how to use it, I will say, because there's different buttons and pressings, but literally it takes AAA batteries, and it's got a red, a green, and a white light. I think it's 200 lumens at max on the white light. It's perfect. It's not too bright. Batteries last me a year, and yeah, that's all I can really ask for. So I swap them out every year. I use a dead downwind wind detector. Kind of funny. It says flour on it. I don't buy new ones of these. I literally put baking soda or flour in them. It does the job. Maybe the deer can smell flour, but I haven't noticed that, so I'm not too worried about it. Allen wrench keys. Always have one of these because I somehow need it for a scope or a tripod or a plate or something. And my seat. So I don't know if you guys are fans of chairs, but I always like to sit on something. This is a it's just like a 3-piece stool or a 3-legged stool. So super easy to use. It literally goes out like this. You sit on it. I will tell you, the first time you use it, it might be a little bit uncomfortable because you're literally going to have this in your crotch. Okay, I know that doesn't sound great. However, you will get really comfortable to it. And I usually would use like a camp chair or like a seated chair that you're going to like, I don't even, you're kind of going to lounge in it. What I hate about it in Kansas that I've found over the years is typically you're dealing with farmland that you're hunting. And depending on the moisture of that ground, your feet actually start sinking into the ground where that from the chair. And then before you know it, you're so low to the ground you can't even get out of the chair. And that drives me crazy because then I need to get out of the chair to move my camera or to shoot. And now I'm fumbling around because I'm too deep, too low. So this actually stops me from doing that. This is why I'm using this. What else we got? We got camera. I won't bore you with the camera stuff, but I do have camera. I have a GoPro that I'll be taking. I'll be using my phone. Ooh, one more big one. Can't forget about it. It's the rifle. So, rifle, 6.5 Creedmoor. You either love it or you hate it. I love it. It does not have a lot of recoil. I'm not a big dude. And it shoots straight and accurate. And this is a Ruger American Predator. Added a muzzle brake on it. It's like the hybrid muzzle brake, literally, I think for $90. All in, this rifle, just the rifle with the muzzle brake, like $500 if you shop around right. But you will not find a more straight shooting rifle for that amount of money, period. Then I added this little bipod on here. I've had the same bipod for probably 7 seasons now. It's off Amazon. I couldn't tell you the brand. It just works. I'll add it in the descriptions below. By the way, I'll have all the descriptions below of all the links of products that I have. Some of them, I will tell you, are affiliate links. So if you hit them and you end up purchasing something, I will make a small commission on it. I'd greatly appreciate that, just for making these videos and taking time for you guys. But with that said, it doesn't cost you anything else or any more. But with that said, I did want to preface that. I did put a Razor. This is a Razor LHT. This is a 3-15 by 42. And I do have all the ballistics set in here. This is zeroed at 200 yards. So I have the actual ballistics at 200. And I have a yardage strip on here. This also lights up. So I literally can press a button and there's a little tiny red dot in the reticle. And if you don't know anything about the optics, it's going to vary from 3 times magnification to 15 times magnification, depending on how far or how close you're shooting. And then this is your objective lens, that's 42 millimeters. I typically will be somewhere in between 40 to 50, depending on the rifle. However, I really want it to stay under about 8 pounds on this rifle. So I'm under 8 pounds until I add this thing. And I don't use this bipod for everything, but I'm shooting the Precision Hunter ELDX 143 grain. These things shoot fantastic. This gun shoots fantastic. I love it. Very happy with it and looking forward to take down a deer. And typically my shots there in Kansas have been somewhere in between like 300 to 500 yards, depending on the properties that we're hunting. So varies, but that gun's a tack driver for what it is, and for the price point, you really can't beat it. And that scope is basically a little bit more than 2 times the cost of that rifle. I think if you buy retail for that scope, it's like $1,300. That gun's like $550 to $600 if you don't get a good deal on it. So then you can shop around. You know, there's all kinds of sales going on, but all in, that's a pretty studly rifle for what it is. And I'll put that up against any of my higher custom rifles that I have. So with that said, I think that's all I have. Ooh, one more. Hand warmers. I love hand warmers, okay? I don't like being cold. There's no point in being cold. So I got toe warmers, hand warmers, and body warmers. I'll usually have at least a couple of those on me, and I put them in my kangaroo pocket. Or this is a trick: if you're wearing an insulation piece, literally put your hand warmers in the pockets of the insulation piece and then put your shell over it. You will feel like there's just heat constantly coming up, and you're going to feel like your own little sleeping bag, or I call it a thermos of hot coffee. It's just awesome. I can't say enough about it. And if I'm sitting in glassing for hours, you're going to get cool. So I love having hand warmers. I don't know how other folks don't use these. And again, part of my gear dump, but that's a big part for me. So this is a 9-day hunt, so I have enough for at least a pack of each of those for 9 days that I'm taking it and that I'm taking with me. And again, I don't have to worry about packing it. If this is a backcountry hunt, I don't pack a ton of these. You know, I might pack just one body warmer for the day because I don't want to add too much weight. But that's all the gear in a nutshell. So I hope you guys enjoyed the gear dump here. If you have any questions, please let me know. I would notch them at the bottom of the video here. Please like and subscribe to the channel. That would be huge, and I would be very appreciative to you. Again, I'll put all the links to all the products and descriptions below. Again, if you want anything or you want to check them out, please use those links. That'd be awesome. And with that said, if you're subscribing to the channel, greatly appreciate it. But until next time, scout, hunt, and repeat. Thanks.